Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2, and today we've got a bit of a PTS mystery. Oh boy, my favorite. So if you didn't know, the TU22 public test server is live. We are checking out the new Division 2 update. I just put a video out earlier this morning on the new Striga exotic AR, and I got a bunch more coming, but I had to take a quick break from all of the new stuff to discuss an interesting discovery the people have made in this PTS. Now, PTSs for the Division have historically had, hidden info out there to find, right? They are a preview of the next update of the game, and so it's hard to go and lock down every little bit of detail that might come through. But what we're going to talk about in this video is how this PTS might have leaked the fact that a new Incursion is coming to the game. And if you're like me and adored what we got with Paradise Lost back in year 5, that's quite exciting. So let's waste no time and get right to it. Alright, so what's happening? Why do we think that a new Incursion may be on the way for the game? Well, after the PTS went live, it didn't take long for players to discover that if you go into the leaderboards here and you click on the Incursion tab, you can find that there is a new category here that says Wallops Island, at least that's how I think you pronounce it, completion time. And as you can see, it's right below where the pre-existing leaderboards are for Paradise Lost. So that's very interesting. And if you didn't know, this is actually a place in real life. Wallops Island is on the coast of Virginia. It's about 150 miles from Washington, D.C., but the most noteworthy thing about it, as you'll see in some of these images that I'll show on screen, it's home to a NASA flight facility. And in some of the brief research I did preparing for this video, it indicates that this facility conducts a lot of Earth and space scientific operations, there's commercial usage there, and a lot more. So, very, very interesting, right? And in the comms section in the PTS, you will also find that there is a new category here titled Virginia. It has 0 out of 0, you can't see anything in there, but obviously Virginia is the same state that Wallops Island is in. So what does all of this mean? That's the golden question. At face value, it would seem to point to the idea that a new Incursion is indeed in development, right? Yes, although there's one snag, and that is that the developers recently said that they had no current plans for future Incursions in the Division 2. So I'll show you the quote here. Now do note, this is from the Seasons 2.0 FAQ article that was for the original version of Seasons 2.0, so it is outdated to the degree that we're not getting seasonal characters anymore, which they do reference here. But keep in mind that this is only 3 months old, right? It was released on June 18th. The question was, will there be any new content for the main non-seasonal characters? And the response was, non-seasonal characters will continue to have access to all existing game content, including both Wony and the upcoming DLC. Right now, there are no intentions to introduce another Incursion or raid. So, that's a bit conflicting, right? And I mean, it's certainly possible that since the publication of this article, they could have changed their minds and said, yeah, let's go for another Incursion. But to me, in 3 months' time for them to have picked a location, added a leaderboard slot for it, and added a comm category, that just seems a little bit fishy. But really, that's where we are for now. We won't know anything definitively unless the devs comment on it. If this is real, if maybe that article was just them throwing a red herring and didn't want us to know that there was an Incursion coming up, the earliest I could see this arriving is in year 7, season 1, which would be around June 2025, roughly. I know some people think that this is coming this season or with the DLC. I don't think so. I think they have their hands full getting this stuff out already. I mean, I'd love to be wrong, but yeah, I think this is a far future kind of thing, if it is real. It's also completely possible, and I urge you to keep this in mind, that this was an idea that they had in the past that is now scrapped. That happens in game development all the time. There are thousands of ideas that are thrown out there, things that are prototyped, concepted, maybe put into the game files, but ultimately do not make it to the live game, and this could be one of those scenarios. But let's say, for discussion's sake, that this is real. I think it makes total sense to do it. Paradise Lost was very well received, and when that came out, because of the reception it got, I thought that that was going to spring us into an annual Incursion release schedule. And so that's why I found that quote within the article so odd when we got it. I was like, really? They're not going to do anything with that moving forward? So, maybe the devs heard the feedback that we gave after that came out, and they changed course. Who knows? As far as the plot or setup of this potential Incursion, of course there's a million different ways they could take it. They can do whatever they want. If it was going to be tied to our current storyline, maybe Natalia and the Black Tusk or Cal and the Hunters are trying to launch satellites or something. In some way, they're trying to tamper with Isaac or Anna's signals or connection. As I said, endless possibilities. They could also just throw a random outcast boss in there and say, hey, go kill this guy. But yeah, for now, that is what we know about the potential of this new Wallops Island Incursion coming to the Division 2. That's what we've got, folks, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this entire deal. What do you make of the fact that this new Wallops Island Incursion node is within the leaderboards within the Year 6 Season 2 PTS? Do you think it's something that the devs are working on? Do you think perhaps it was scrapped content from a long time ago? If it is real, why do you think they said in that article just 3 months ago that they had no plans for future Incursions? Lots of interesting angles here, and as always, I will be eager to read your thoughts on it down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to stay up to date on if we learn anything more about this Incursion and all of my other upcoming PTS PTS coverage, then I would be greatly appreciative of you clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. As I said, lots more coming up. But that is going to do it for me today, folks. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Ow.